Steve Beaton finally booked his place in tomorrow afternoon's quarter-finals. He missed 8 match darts against Gerwen Watimena, but he finally got through, and the bronzed Adonis will meet Johnny Clayton after he just beat Stephen Bunting over on board 2. Well, very similar averages for these two of 87, so many missed doubles each of them. But it's to final in the space of 7 years, and he's going to tell John Rawling all about it.
Steve, a little bit too close for comfort, that one.
Yeah, it's been a long day. When I got the lead, I thought, well, that's it, game's over. But, you know, it's hard to kill it off then, isn't it? And when he got to 9-8, I thought, right, put your head on. And I missed and made it 9-all. And then the last leg, I just head on again, and I had the chance, and he didn't.
8 match darts that you missed. How do you manage to put the doubts behind you at that sort of stage? Because you must be fearing the worst, because you had 1 foot in the quarterfinals.
Well, yeah. I mean, as the game went, Gerwen didn't play that well at all, and he was sort of giving me the chance, and that, not to be funny, just you have a chance and then you don't take it, and it makes it even worse. You know, the averages there, you could see, wasn't brilliant, but it was one of them games that, you know, it was there for me to take, and it was just taking it. But that was the hardest thing to do. But
through into the last 8 again, nice feeling.
Oh yeah. It's been a while, but I've never. Yeah, this one's a tricky one. You know, played on two stages. You know, it's nice to play on the big stage. I liked it in Reds Bar. That was very compact, and the atmosphere was good. So it was different to play on the big stage then. But I can have a sleep now and ready for tomorrow.
Steve, well done. Onwards. You never know.
Cheers, John. Yeah, you never know. I'm here to win. That's the whole point of being here, isn't it? So look out tomorrow.
Well done. Well done.
Cheers. Thanks.
So over on board 2, Johnny Clayton has just squeezed past a resurgent Stephen Bunting on the decider, and he's been talking to Ned.
Well, that was another very, very tense encounter down here in Reds, because Stephen Bunting pushed this man Johnny Clayton pretty much all the way there. You had to dig very deep, didn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously it was Steve's caliber, great player, world champion. You know, you don't get world champion for anything. And yeah, to be honest, that was, I finally stopped shaking. So yeah, it was a toughie.
You cut a very composed figure. Like every time I watch you play, this is your 3rd victory now here. What's going on inside you? Because you're entering unknown territory here to a certain extent, aren't you? Into the business end, onto Sunday at the Players.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's new to me, this, you know, this part of the competition. Like, you know, longer legs, my stomach's twisting, like, do you know what I mean? My hands are shaking like hell, but there we are, that's the way it goes, like, that's the way it goes.
What's clicked for you this year, Johnny? Because everything's gone right, your first ranking victory and, you know, appearances in major tournaments across the world, really.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of confidence, to be honest. You know, you get to know players, you like the environment you play in, and I think it's just the confidence is building slowly, and yeah, that's what I think is my main thing. Like.
Do you think I mean, we've seen a lot of big names falling, haven't we? And players like yourself making your mark, and of course, what Rob Cross has done this year. Can you draw inspiration from that? Do you feel it's much more open now than it used to be?
Oh yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you obviously respect the big guns, but it's a chance for us lot. Like, do you know what I mean? We're climbing the ranks slowly. Well, I am, and at the end of the day, it's nice to see them fall, so we get that chance. Like, do you know?
Well, you've done extremely well today, and we will see you again tomorrow. So how does this sound? Quarter-final in the Players. That sounds pretty good to your ears.
Ah, sounds good to me. Hopefully the semis and the final, so yeah.
Well done indeed. Well played.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, John.
Yes, well done, Johnny Clayton. He will play Steve Beaton in tomorrow's quarter-final. If he gets through, whoever gets through will be guaranteed £23,000. They're already guaranteed 12.5 for reaching the quarter-finals. Well, we are halfway through the action on the main stage. Rob Cross and Steve Beaton are through. Next up, Michael van Gerwen, who averaged 108 against D.Webster earlier against D.Webster, who's in great form himself. He put up a 103 average against Mervyn King. And let's hope they can both carry that form into the evening session for us. Let's join John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the action as we come to you live from Butlins, Minehead, and the Mr. Greensport Players' Championship Finals, all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. live on ITV as we welcome the millions of viewers joining us around the world. It's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the winner of 2 PDC ranking events, the Demolition Man, D.Webster! And now, ladies and gentlemen, the current world #1, the reigning and defending 3 times Players' Championship Finals winner, and the reigning 2-time champion of the world.
The Demolition Man finally demolished Mighty Mike. He hasn't lost live on ITV in 3 years, and it was in this very tournament. Alan and John will talk us through it.
Well, we will see if he's going to win it again. Of course, he's a massive, almost unbackable favourite to win this particular match. But 12 months ago, against Darren Webster, Webster took a 6-0 lead, eventually losing, he got 8, losing 11-8 in that match. But he says if he gives me that sort of an opportunity again, I won't be throwing it away. And there you see, he's progressed. He's a better player now, in all probability, than he was 12 months ago. But Michael van Gerwen averaging over 108 in the last round, and that is the best performance that we've seen this weekend. And he does seem to have another level which he is able to click into, which he did in reaching this phase.
Yes, he believes in himself so much with his ability, what he can do. He's done it all before. Even when he's behind, he doesn't panic. Always knows he can get back into any game.
2 Players' Championship wins this year. And he's won this tournament 3 of the last 4 years. And beaten altogether now in 24 matches since suffering a defeat in the Grand Prix in Dublin.
Darren Webster also had a Players' Championship win this year, and I think that was probably a turning point for him to get that win under his belt.
Still works full-time as a builder, joiner, bricklayer, demolition man, you name it, he'll turn his hands to it.
Still turns up and does his bit.
That says he enjoys it. Keeps him fit, but as well as his darts, good steady source of income and something he very much enjoys doing.
140.
Gives him a check out.
Well, if it's something he's always done, and he's still producing darts at this level, you would advise him to carry on doing the same, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
58.
Well, he's got a chance here. Not able to take it on this occasion. Early stages of the match, though, and he's putting the Van Gerwen throw under a little bit of pressure with that.
Yeah, 25 may have been a good option there. With 62, may only get one dart at the double.
100.
Well, he's probably going to go treble 10, I would think. It looks as though he's looking at that. 12 for tops. One dart at the double, as Alan predicted, and taken. Webster ahead with a break of throw.
Yes, fabulous finish there. Almost knew in his mind it was going to be his only opportunity. If he'd have missed it, Michael would have had 3 darts at the double.
He's a pugnacious little character, Darren Webster. Always fancies his chances. Doesn't know the meaning of quit.
It's a mini Rottweiler.
Yeah, he's a feisty little player. Says he has to be, as in, now this is his way of putting it, not mine. I'll tell you in a moment. Great shot. He says I live in a house full of women. I'm married with 3 daughters. I've got to be able to look after myself. Now he said that, not me, before anybody starts tweeting, complaining.
They said it tongue-in-cheek, but he is a wonderful character. And 2 maximums in this leg after that break in the first.
And it's going to have to crank MVG up into another gear, which he's doing. Now he's got a chance of going 2-0 for tops.
Be clinical. You have to be clinical at these moments.
Oh, he's missed it!
Michael, you require 81.
That could hurt. Double 12. Yes. You missed your chances against Van Gerwen, and that's what happens. It's one apiece.
Clinical is the word. He got himself into such a good position there with 2 maximums. If you don't tidy up at the end, you give your opponent the chance.
That match I was telling you about last year when they played each other, it was in the semi-finals. Darren Webster took a 6-0 lead. I remember on the betting exchange that at that stage he was leading 6-0, and Michael was still an odds-on favourite to win it, which of course he duly did.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it, really?
Shows how good he is.
Well, it just shows you what the perception is from everybody as well.
44.
Never see a poor bookie, do you?
Sticking on the 19s to the 5 would have left 170. 7 leaves 132.
Amazing run of success Michael Van Gerwen has had. He's had a fabulous year. Career winnings. Well, is he going to go for it again? He is. Oh, needed another for double 16.
92.
Career winnings now of over £5 million in prize money. And he's still only 28 years old.
The world's at his feet, and he absolutely loves winning.
And that's why, and that's how. 2 doubles out of 2, an average of 112.5, and he's ahead. This is the level which the others have to aspire to, and which Darren Webster is going to have to match right now.
Great darts here from Van Gerwen.
The second maximum hoists the average to 117.
140.
Once upon a time, people used to think it was pretty exceptional if people got over 100. Van Gerwen has moved it on.
59.
Yes, it's on average still pretty good, as we all know. It's only a 15 dart leg.
Who got the first ever ton average on telly, huh?
Well, I've got our spotter Keith Dellery here shouting it down, so it must have been him.
Well, squeezed that 13 in to get the setup he wanted. No check out for Van Gerwen, of course, so Webster, whatever he does here, is going to come back with 58 required to square up the match. Don't need me to say he's got to get this.
Yes, and again he's got himself in a good position by his scoring. This time he's taken out the double.
Well played, Darren Webster. The pride of Norwich goes 2-2. Break at the end of this leg. Career results between them. They've met 4 times on television. Michael van Gerwen's won the lot. And overall, 11-1 in MVG's favour. It was a Players' Championship in 2014 in Barnsley when Darren emerged victorious. Now he'd like to have a second one here in Minehead.
I wonder if Darren reminded him of that point at the start. You may have beaten me a few times, but remember that time I smashed you?
I think the rest of the field would be rather chuffed if he pulled it off here.
170.
That's a good contest. Very, very high scoring from both players.
100. Michael, you've got 51.
51 to regain the lead, double 16, and clinically taken away 3 doubles out of 3, averaging 114.5, but still only with throw. They will come back with Van Gerwen ahead, with Darren Webster with the darts in the next leg, but Van Gerwen leads as they leave the stage 3-2. Good match here on the main stage. Michael van Gerwen leading Darren Webster 3-2. It's going with darts to this point. Meanwhile, on the second stage, another tight one. James Wade in action against Ian White. Wade with the break of throw, and as you can see, leading 5-4. But it's been a nip and tuck sort of match, and looks as though it's one which could go very, very long indeed.
Yeah, we've had some close calls this evening. A few last leg deciders, a few dodgy ones. It looks like it could go in similar fashion. This one's pretty close as well.
Absolutely. Michael van Gerwen peppering the big numbers. 3 checkouts out of 3 so far, 3 doubles out of 3. Darren Webster 2 out of 4. He's trailing 2-3, but with the throw. And the match is at a very high standard, really good averages to this point.
Yeah, if you analyse the first 5 legs, the only mistake that really happened was Darren's 2 darts at the double in leg 2.
100.
Apart from that, both players have played magnificently. Good averages, as you can see. Pretty good on the doubles. 3 out of 3 for Michael, 2 out of 4 for Darren.
60.
Just those 2 darts I mentioned.
There is confirmation of those statistics. Perfection from Van Gerwen. I'm sure somewhere in the back of his mind he sort of cherishes the hope that one day he's going to do 9 darters right the way through and produce the perfect game of darts.
MVG's accuracy at times puts Robin Hood and William Tell to shame, doesn't it?
He's a massive star in his homeland in the Netherlands. Hugely popular. When we were over in Belgium, you know, Alan, he was given a great following over in Hasselt, but he went over and did an exhibition after that. We'll just see this first. Treble 13 he's looking for, missed it. Oh dear. Good facial reaction as he missed that treble 13 by a little way. Yeah, he went over and did an exhibition in Germany. And 8,000 turned up to watch him.
It was in Cologne, wasn't it? Talking to him, he said it was absolutely fantastic.
Double 10. Wow, big pause. Steadied the buff, still missed it though. That was for the break of throw. Big one for Webster, this. Good dart, tops. Oh, that could hurt.
Michael, you require
again,
20.
Similar to the second leg, although Michael did throw first at the double. Darren had 2 darts to take the leg.
That's not sitting well. Oh, how did he squeeze that in? Great dart, that. Great dart. The top half of the bed was blocked.
I think that one went in off the lampshade. It was incredible.
Well, however he did it, he managed to squeeze it in. And that now gives him the break, and suddenly a little gap opens up. He's 4-2 ahead.
He's a tenacious character, Webster. Showing them qualities. Do not want Michael van Gerwen to have too much of a lead.
Darren
Express train.
Darren Webster, sponsored and managed by the old heavyweight boxer Jess Harding.
Yeah, for those of you who
former heavyweight boxer, I should say, because he won't like being described as old, and he's rather bigger than me.
For those people who don't follow sport, it's not somebody who makes boxes.
No.
Good lad, Jess. Worked with him on Thursday night. Loves his relationship with Darren as well. They really are.
Little and large, aren't they?
Yeah, they're enjoying the challenge.
There he is. Jess Harding, good lad.
Yeah, great character. Came into darts about 3-4 years ago, maybe 5.
Used to be the manager and mentor of that cracking little boxer Spencer Oliver a few years back.
Well, he was quality, wasn't he?
Tops then for Van Gerwen, and it's 5-2. First to 10, the gap is opening, is widening.
Come on, Darren, there we go.
His third maximum.
Still fighting away. It's the qualities you've got to show in this game, in this day and age.
I said earlier, he's no quitter, is he? Daddy. Became a daddy not so long back in August, wasn't it? When Daphne gave birth to little Zoe.
140.
Daphne being Michael's wife.
100.
Live in a town called Vlijmen over in the Netherlands. So 121 for Webster. And he's got 6 darts at it from here.
Yeah, he's got some options, so he may stay there. Ooh, bad second one though.
45.
He'll be annoyed at that. I bet he wishes, with the benefit of hindsight, that he'd given that 121 a go.
140.
Played the percentages rather than attacking, and suddenly 76 becomes altogether more important. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear.
36.
Well, he could be punished now.
80.
Yeah, for 1-2-1, he's had 6 darts and not thrown to win the leg.
Tops for the leg for 6-2.
60.
He's missed it.
He's got another chance to retrieve, just to retrieve the situation.
In case of one, he's got away with this, Webster, if he... Oh dear. 5-5. That was so important. Facial reaction tells its own story.
Growling away as Webster
99.
chewing on a bone.
More of a Jack Russell than a Rottweiler, but anybody who's got one of those little terriers knows they can be feisty little beasts.
100.
How he'd love to get himself a break of throw here.
100.
That's a steady ton.
Solid.
98.
Van Gerwen's average still standing over 105. Webster's had subsided a tad, as you see, to 93.
125.
Still at 102 at the last break.
That last start has made a real difference there. It would have left him on a finish if he hit the maximum. But Michael does hit the maximum and leaves himself double 12.
44.
No tangible response from Webster, so double 12 for 6-3. And the favourites, the 10-1 on favourite before the match began to win this one, storms now into a 6-3 lead.
60.
Break at the end of the leg. Webster desperately needs this to be 6-4 and not 7-3. 7-3, you'd feel it was just about all over. It may well be anyway.
Yeah, he's got to keep himself in the match, not just on the scoreline, but in his cognitive thought process. When he gets into the break, he wants to come out firing and make sure that he still has what you would call a realistic chance.
Well, he's gone 60-43, which is not what would be prescribed. Could do with a ton 40 here or more.
121.
And the last one again, a little bit astray.
133.
Van Gerwen poised with a break of throw, a very real possibility now. It's good response, but 132 goes the bull route. Treble 19 he wanted, but missed it.
104.
Which way is he going to go for 137? Treble 19 and 2 tops, possibly. 2 tops. Oh, he went for it. He went for it. Just couldn't quite get it in that department.
Double 14. And there it is. That is not what Webster needed. Van Gerwen now is in complete control. And he leaves the stage. First to 10. He leads Darren Webster by 7 legs to 3. James Wade in action on board number 2, and he is 9-5 ahead, and he's been getting checkouts when they count. That's the maximum he picks up there, and it exemplified the last checkout he had just why he's winning this match. He was on 24, misses double 12, gets a single 12, misses double 6, gets single 6, and then on double 3, perhaps the hardest double on the board, he tucks it away.
Yeah, kept his composure at the right time, and that's why he's ahead. 1 leg away.
And looking for a match against Rob Cross in the next round. Ian White thought he'd press Wadey a bit harder than he has, but he looks as though he's heading for that match against Rob Cross. Meanwhile, Michael Van Gerwen here himself now is just 3 legs away from victory. Important break that he got before they left the stage. Now 7-3, and he's not quite home and hosed, but it'd be a monumental turnaround if Darren Webster were to win from here. And the way Van Gerwen's playing, you just can't see it.
Yeah, he's good enough to do it in a couple of legs, but when you see the gap, as you mentioned, John, very, very difficult task on a percentage basis to do it for the next 4 or 5 legs. But he'll give it a go.
140.
He'll keep chipping away. Just clinging to the very real fact that Van Gerwen is human like all of us, and he has his down times. He has moments when he doesn't attain his very best darts, and it's when that happens that you have to try and capitalise. Webster's making a good start here.
Yes, he's got 1-2-1. He's probably going to have to take it. 180 here will leave tops for Van Gerwen.
Well, 121 is one of those favoured finishers. He didn't go for it last time. He's got to this time. Treble 17. He's got it for bullseye. Oh, good effort, but not quite.
Michael, you require 40.
Should have gone for it last time, Alan.
You shot an 11
Van Gerwen takes it, and it's now 8-3. Only 2 more needed.
Yes, the one you mentioned there, didn't he? Had 6 darts and 1-2-1 and didn't throw at the double.
He played safe, didn't he? Or he did in his own mind rather than going for it, because Van Gerwen was back out with the washing somewhere and he wound up losing the leg.
That can happen. You make a mess, somebody will step in.
60.
Webster started really well. He's just gone off the boil a wee bit.
100.
Average standing round about 93. We're all in tonight.
Yes, they love the Saturday night at the darts down here in Minehead.
Extraterrestrials, superheroes, Star Wars characters, you name it. If you fancy coming to the darts dressed about as just about anything, it's okay.
So 5 blocks dressed as teacups earlier. I don't know where that one's come from.
Now that's a bit warm. There's 1 or 2 people who might be a bit fuzzy-headed come tomorrow morning.
85.
Well, he's gone off the boil here momentarily, Van Gerwen, and this is where Webster has to really dip his bread in, and he can't, you see. That's a great opportunity and he's missed it.
64.
Get another chance, but that's not really quite the point.
Well, at least he's left a double.
145.
He's going to have to get it.
32.
Double 16 for 8-4. Well, that's good dart, well done. 4 out of 11 on the doubles, comparing with Van Gerwen's 8 out of 15. Van Gerwen better than 50% on the checkouts, 56% his tournament checkout average. Very solid, along with the heavy scoring. His tournament average now close to 105, and in this match he's weighing in at over 106.
Yeah, the middle session was costly for Darren, losing it 4-1. He dropped his average from 103 to 91.
60.
So despite how good Van Gerwen was, his game just dipped just at the wrong time.
And leaving Van Gerwen now 2 legs away from victory, and that place in the last 8. Defending champion, of course.
100.
Not happy with that one.
81.
James Wade has won over on the other board, moving through to that quarter-final match against Rob Cross.
125.
Ian White being brushed aside, and James Wade, seemingly as ever, Alan, getting the checkouts and getting the hurtful finishes when it counts. It's a question of big match nerve. Now Van Gerwen, Shanghai, can't do it. But yeah, I mean, Wade getting the checkouts when he needs them.
Yeah, he played a lot better there than he has done in his previous 2 matches, so it's all looking good for James at the moment.
60.
So this is for 9-4, double 16. In we go. 9 out of 16. And a very solid performance from Van Gerwen. Average of 105 is pretty much his par performance nowadays.
100.
Yeah, electric start, wasn't it? 114 in that first session. Still pretty level in the remainder. That's what you're up against.
100.
You look at that average and put it into comparison of how many darts you throw at the board. When you throw in second, more often than not, you're only going to have 4 visits.
That's not poor darts from Darren Webster by any manner or means. Started pretty well, but Van Gerwen just maintained that high level which he started at and kept it going. And Darren, well though he was playing, just couldn't live with it.
Unfortunately, a finish.
140.
6-1.
He's got it. Keeps the hopes flickering. Victory for Van Gerwen, and the match is all over if he takes this leg.
Van Gerwen also leaves a finish.
So then this one's for the match. It's a bit of a mess from Webster. There's one of them. There's 2 of them, double 10. Raised the wire.
Good effort. And this one to stay in the match. 2 darts at the big treble. Needs treble 20 now for double 18. Just can't get it over the top.
60. Michael, you require 20.
Double 10 needed for the handshake. This time maybe. He's having to move across. He's not terribly enamoured with how those darts are lying. Does he go left? Does he go right? A bit of banter with the crowd.
Oh! The crowd like that one. Back to business though.
Tops. He's got it. 9-5.
He loved that one, didn't he? I don't think Michael did.
Not sure he's too worried. He's got the darts still. 9-5. Big gap. Surely he's not. It's not conceivable that he could let this one slide.
Monumental effort really needed here from Darren. Realistically, you'd be thinking he's going to have a 12-dart leg here to at least stop Michael. Maybe not winning the leg, but at least throwing at the double to win it. Look at the way the game has gone.
Yeah, steady ton. Webster needs 140 or more.
Great effort here.
Oh, that's unlucky.
23.
Keeps sneaking in one treble.
He's keeping his nose ahead. He's not going to get on a finish with this visit.
60.
So it's advantage Van Gerwen.
Into the 19s. Leaves himself 70.
34.
Oh, plenty of time to get it. 170 is makeable. Now this is for the match, double 16. Wrong side of the wire.
Darren, you require 100.
That last 25, Darren leaves himself the big one. Didn't start the sequence.
95. Michael, you
Double
require
16 once
32.
more for Michael Van Gerwen to advance. The crowd poised to celebrate. And now they can. It's match start. Michael Van Gerwen through into the quarterfinals. The defending champion, ultimately averaging close to 103. Darren Webster held him in the early stages but couldn't cling on to his coattails. And Michael Van Gerwen moves onwards and wins this one 10-5.